There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Well, by the sounds of it, there's 50 million reasons why Anthony Joshua's taking this fight. In my head, I never, ever thought this fight would happen. Why? Because of Anthony Joshua's desire to be in the history books, to be a three-time heavyweight champion of the world. To me, it shows me his desire. Pick up 50 million along the way. Nobody can knock him for this. This is now business.
Heavyweight pros have shared their predictions for the Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua fight. Tyson Fury did not hesitate with his prediction for how this fight would play out. Tyson Fury told The Ring magazine a few months earlier that he didn't know about a tune-up and believed Jake Paul would knock him out. He said he thought Paul would knock AJ out, that AJ was a spent force while Paul was on the rise, and that he liked Paul's new heavyweight look, a bit chubby and a bit bulky. Fury went on to say that Paul had done a great job against the aging Chavez Jr., who had been a middleweight, and that he liked how Paul called out fighters across the full spectrum from featherweight to heavyweight.
There's been some talk about possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. Bit chubby, bit bulky.
In a surprise turn of events, Paul appeared to hint that him facing Joshua is not a foregone conclusion, as he took to X to write "Not holding my breath" for 2025. Too many yes men. Joshua's last fight was a brutal knockout loss to Daniel Dubois at Wembley in 2024, and his long spell of inactivity has since pushed him out of the heavyweight rankings. After Paul's scheduled bout with Gervonta Davis was canceled this weekend, The Ring's Mike Kopinger reported that Paul and two-time world heavyweight champion Anthony Joshua are now finalizing a deal for a Netflix fight on Friday, December 19th. The journalist reported that the deal was finalized for a professional heavyweight bout that would count on both fighters' official records. Eddie Hearn, Joshua's longtime promoter, publicly stated that the bout would be a real fight under Queensberry rules. 3-minute rounds, 1-minute rests, and 10 gloves. It's been suggested that the super fight purse could be a straight 50-50 split, netting both fighters a massive £70 million just for stepping into the ring. Paul declared he will beat Anthony Joshua's, claiming the Brit has no chin. And surprisingly, Fury, whose younger brother Tommy dealt Paul his only career defeat, is backing the problem child over his fellow Brit. The 28-year-old, who has faced opponents like Mike Tyson and Julio Cesar Chavez, presently has a professional boxing record of 12 victories and 1 loss. Joshua's promoter and Matchroom CEO Eddie Hearn told BBC Radio 5 that everyone has jumped the gun and that Joshua has a big fight with Tyson Fury planned for next year despite the extensive rumors surrounding the deal. Hearn added, "We may run out in 2025. We were just going to have a low-key fight somewhere. If that is going to destroy the run of Mr. Paul and make tens of millions of dollars in the process, then maybe." Nothing is confirmed yet. Joshua, who was born in Watford, reportedly told Sport 1 that Fury has to fight him. Meanwhile, former world heavyweight title challenger Derek Chisora has issued a brutally honest prediction ahead of Anthony Joshua's fight with Jake Paul. In an interview with Seconds Out, British heavyweight Chisora asserted that AJ is going to kill Paul in spite of the contradictory claims. The 41-year-old said, "Listen, I'm buzzing. We can lay that Jake Paul nonsense to rest. If that fight happens, somebody better go to jail. AJ is going to kill him. It's unfair. Someone has to go to jail." He further added, "Right now, Jake Paul will be watching the last fight that AJ had with Dubois, and he is going to jump on him. It's all about how AJ deals with the man in front of him. Whatever happens, it will be exciting. Paul hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua." Jake Paul goes home in an ambulance after that fight. Heavyweight contender Andy Ruiz shared his perspective with Covers, weighing in on Paul and speculating on what might happen if the two ever squared off in the ring, boasting millions of YouTube followers. Paul is undeniably drawing fresh attention to the sport, a fact even Ruiz has recognized. However, the heavyweight didn't hold back when it came to commenting on the quality of opponents Paul has faced. Ruiz said, "For a minute, I thought it was good because it was getting boxing a lot of publicity. Everybody was making the sport more popular. But once he starts picking his fights, fighting older guys, smaller guys, it's kind of disrespectful, you know? I don't want to talk, but yeah, I think it's kind of disrespectful for him to choose smaller or older fighters. When asked who Ruiz would like to see Paul face, Ruiz said, I think I would like for him to fight Andy Ruiz. Taking further aim at Paul, he said, I think I would like to see him fight a tough fighter, somebody that's on his level and in the same weight class. I think the Davis bout would have been a good fight. If Gervonta would have been sticking and moving and counter-punching him, I don't know. Anything could happen in this sport, but I just want him to fight someone legit. When asked about how a potential fight would play out, he said, I think like 4 rounds. I think I would be pressuring him, hitting him in the body, feinting, throwing my combinations. I think 4 rounds. What once felt like sheer fantasy